It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order.
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle.
This is not justice!
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
No peace, no justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man and Mr. Gee paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I've gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
This is the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka Clary is a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. On this program, Dr. Meleeka guides you toward a more fulfilling life through the power of positive psychology. And now, please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Just me. Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Hello, people. Oh, wow. Here we go. Something different, something new. You know what? It's different for me right now because I'm going through these different changes, like I said before. And we have on Instagram Live and the page 3 Coins Deception, and YouTube we've been on live before. Like I said, this is a transition from Bold and Brave, being powered by Sweet Recordings, you guys. And I'm just loving all these new changes. So forgive me if I'm a little tardy. We was just trying to get some technical things taken together here. And I hope you see me great because I love it. I love it. This is awesome. I love change. I love this wonderful transition. And my engineer, Joe Ganjimi, I introduced him last time. And I will say, Joe, he has been doing wonderful to get me all ready to go for you guys. We have an amazing show. And of course, you've seen this young lady before on my show and my movie, 3 Quarters Deception. And I will bring her when we come back soon, when we go on a break. But I have to let you know, I'm just so happy. So I want you guys, so when you check me out on Instagram, I want you to share. I'm always going to be on Google. So if you have a hard time finding me, which you shouldn't, you can always just Google me. But YouTube, Facebook, the 3 Coins Deception page, y'all, all right. So if you have comments and something, I'll try to answer them. And my guests as well. We're going to do that a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll try to get to you. But if I don't, I'm thinking about you still. But you will have that opportunity, which is a wonderful thing. And I'm just so grateful that we can do all these new things. And I'm all over on different places too, not just visual, audio, speaker, Apple, the podcast Apple and all that stuff too, just like before. It's just, I'm just changed a little things, little different. platforms, new ideas. Like I told you, we got new ideas going here. We're still going to be talking about a lot of nice things that, I want you guys to be educated on. Yes, human rights activists, we talk about law, entertainment, and all that good stuff, and just being a good person, mental health and all of that. So it's just that this transition is wonderful because I get to reach more people, more of my fans worldwide, everywhere, because I hear you guys. You guys send me emails and you get in touch with me and message whatever way you do it. So this transition is so wonderful, and I really appreciate you guys. Really, I really do. And I just want to be better for you guys and better for me too, so I can help you guys because, like I said, we are all in this together. And you know what? Let me don't forget. Thank you, God, for giving me another day to be able to do this show, but another day to be able to say I love you to my loved ones and be there, because I always got to give God the praise, and I don't want to forget that. I'm just so excited because there's new changes, and I want to get through those changes and work with them. I know I'm used to being online and doing TV and movies and stuff like that, but still, when you do something different, and you just got to get used to that. You know what I mean? So this is a wonderful thing for me, and I'm loving it, and I can't wait. Keep on doing stuff. I'm so excited. I'm very blessed. I am, because you know what? I'm doing what I love. So with that being said, you guys, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back. And I'll be right back with my guest, Attorney Kristin Szczerbik. You've been around with her. Sorry, I call her Kristin, Attorney Kristin. We'll be right back. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show.
Dr. Meleeka Clary is an award-winning director, actor, model, paralegal, clinical psychologist, and YouTuber who focuses on raising public awareness of judicial deception and the importance of mental health. Clary has won several accolades and awards for 3 corners of deception, including Best Human Rights Director and Best Female Director at the Toronto International Women's Film Festival. She joined HMWP Psychology Counseling in 2019 and has since been creating content for YouTube. Dr. Clary's work has been praised for its insights into the criminal mind, and she continues to be an outspoken advocate for justice.
And I wanted to do the show, which I was asked to do so, but I had to do it my way. And my way is this: I want to know, who are you? I mean, I could tell you what I am. I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actress, I'm a mom, I'm a doctor. But who am I? Who do I identify myself as to myself? You have a lot of people walking around here and they don't know who they are. And that's what it's about. It's who are you? Because I interview celebrities, I interview doctors, lawyers, average folks. I mean, you could be a nurse, it doesn't matter. I'm going to interview, but I'm not just going to interview about you. I'm going to interview, who are you to you? Who do you identify yourself? Because believe it or not, that's a very interesting question. And a lot of times it's hard to answer.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand that.
You're a clinical psychologist.
Yes.
Filmmaker.
Yes.
Actress.
Yes.
Model.
Yes.
How do you find the time to everything?
Well,
it's amazing. Many congratulations with everything.
Thank you. I think life, that's what it is. I mean, I'm 50, so I have a lot of life there. So experiences and challenges and, things I wanted to do in life.
I just love, I can feel the passion that you have for your work. Yes. I can feel that. And you and I have only just met this morning. But you have so much involvement with people, your patients, clients, and you love it, don't you? Really.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. How are you guys? Woo! I love it. All right. You guys are ready? You know what? We are going to talk today about the changes, and we're going to talk about the stuff. But you know what? Here we go. We are going to bring in Attorney Kristin Szczerbik. Come on in here. Hey, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited about your new platform as well.
Oh, thank you, honey. You are beautiful. You look so good. Go ahead, girl. I love it. Love that hair, my dear. You are beautiful.
Thank you. Same to you, actually. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I try. I do be trying. You've been on this show for a while. I mean, 'cause we've been doing this show. This is a new transition. And, the thing about it is that I know you're an attorney and we talk about law and we talk about all types of things. Here's my thing. When we talk about transitions, isn't that different? Let's just talk about what a transition is. How that feel when you do something new, because people think that it's difficult and it's challenging. What's so scary? Because I want to talk about that psychological aspect, because at first I was kind of nervous. Like, wow, like, right. Wait a minute. I didn't even know what's coming. Well, I really didn't. I had to navigate like, wait a minute. What's going on? When people don't have communication with you, you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And you have to think quickly. Just like when I thought about the movie, I had to think quickly when a actress or an actor kind of like having disagreements. I had to see what I'm going to do. Do I get rid of this person? How they going to communicate? Because you can't make people do things. So it's like, have you had that feeling, that transition? How'd that feel for you? Because I know what this feels for me.
Oh yeah, change generally, like they say, can be scary, and we tend to be resistant to change because it's something different and new. If you don't believe me, get a new phone and try to figure it out. That's just an everyday experience, but in our everyday lives, and we can look at it as an open door, an open window, and try to go through it and try to embrace some of those changes and understand if we get through the hard part, the challenge of the change, it could be better on the other side. But even in just not our everyday lives, but in law and in mental health, those transitions, those periods of adjustment can be really difficult for a lot of people. And we see people who have children and adults who are going through times of transition, such as dissolution and things like that, where they have that adjustment disorder happening. And it's actually normal reactions to intense change that then they have to adjust to. But the good thing is you can get through those things. There is a way to get through those things. And there are a lot of factors that you could probably point to help people get through those things.
That's amazing that you said that, because I know Joe, you met him. He got me through this, and I'm right here. And I'm just sitting here like I feel more comfortable. And I know God has sent, pioneers to get me through the transition, even though it didn't seem like it's that difficult. I'm used to being the limelight of things. Okay. But still, like you said, a phone, try that, for example, new phone. And you're like, what's this iPhone 12, 16, 18, 20? I don't know. I just want a button. You know what I mean? Yes. Let me press a button. What did the button do? Do it work anymore? What are we doing now? You know what I mean?
I'll pick an old school phone any day.
Oh my! Now, I mean, it's so many objects, like so many things you have to do, and you're like, can I just call somebody on the phone?
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh no! Now you got to wave, and it makes the phone call to somebody. I don't know. It's so many, and don't get me wrong. It's I guess somewhat is great, because technology and increase and things like that, you have new things that happen, and it's good for the economy. I would say some things like that, but some things I just think it's just confusing, and I'm just like, okay, like, I sent you some things and I said, hey, it's an option, you could do this. So it's like, I don't know if I want to make it too difficult for everyone. I'm just like, okay, that's optional. If you want to, you do it. You know what I mean? If you don't, you don't. And it's like, but it does challenge you, because somewhat you're saying to yourself, well, I could do. You don't want to be like, I can't do this. Yep. Okay. Am I there? I'm good.
Right.
And that's a wonderful. and that's a luxury of choice. You have a choice if you want to do something or not. You're like, okay, but I try to make it easy. And that's what I try to do for people, make life easier for you. And, and that's what I bring guests on. So we could try to make things easier. So even Dr. Meleeka Clary, and you heard it by attorney Kristin, that change is difficult. So yes. It's not always easy, but one door opens, one door closed, another door opens. You can look at it just like that. Like it could just be like, wow, okay, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? And on that note, we are going to get ready to take a break, and we'll be right back. And, we're going to talk about more change, but also we're going to go into the law too. What that change means when to Kristin with other families, or because she mentioned that too, and other transitions that she does. And there's a whole lot of change because people have to get used to their new life. And that goes with psychology, people. So you come back to me when we go on break. So for right now, we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Do not leave. We'll be right back, and with the amazing, beautiful attorney, Kristin.
Can you tell us about your show, the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show?
Okay, well, the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show on Bold and Brave TV, that is about identification of oneself. So it helps people to start talking and communicating how you feel, what's going on, but not just that, because that's how depression happens. That's how anxiety happens, because we're not talking anymore until something really happens. When I ask people about the identification of oneself, I start asking you, what about challenges in your life? Can you tell me, how did you get through it? Because we got many people out there that doesn't understand, like, okay, you're just like me. Well, let me tell you, you are. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
You're still human being, and you're still, you go through challenges, but show me or explain to me, how did you get through it? And some people come with stories just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you went through it. But here's my viewers, you're just like me. And that helps other people to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna attack this. I'm gonna stay in this life one day at a time. If that person can go through it and get through it, I can too.
Now look at this huge group here. They look fantastic, especially this guy at the back here. Look at this. Look at this. Look, ta-da, ta-da. Oh! Get off my... Yeah, I was like, oh, get off my foot. Tell us about you guys.
They're from Boston. I'm from Indianapolis. We're here with Three Corners of Deception movie. Here's the director right here, Dr. Meleeka Clary. I'm Will Garth, the cinematographer. Our movie can be found on Amazon Prime. We have some of the actors and cast. We got Lance Saccone, the promoter, executive producer. These are also her daughters, her sister, her friend. We're all here. We're all big family.
We are family. Wow.
Production manager, actress, all in the movie Three Corners of Deception. Hello, promoter Lance Saccone. Say hello. Hello.
He's the Godfather, right?
I know, the Godfather.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Hey, we are back with attorney Kristin. Here we are.
Hello.
We're still getting used to everything. So be with us. We are just like hearing things like I don't know. I think I hear double a little bit, but maybe that's just me. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. I think I'm logged in to both apps. I'm not sure. It might be.
We're going to figure it out. Okay, I think it has to be mute. Okay, now I don't. Wait, okay. Nope, I still do. Okay. Yep, I think I hear.
You hearing other voices?
I know. I think I just hear it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't think I am. Let me see. No, I'm on that other one. No, Nope. No. Okay. We'll figure it out. This is all new to us, people. So I'm just hearing what I'm hearing, but it's all good. We'll get to it. So I don't know. I think it's just, did you still hear it too?
No, not anymore. No.
Oh, then maybe why am I hearing it? Maybe it just has to be mute on the engineer, and maybe I won't hear it. I don't know. Okay.
I'm the last person to ask about technology.
I know, me too. But this is so different. But I think I think on the other end it has to be muted. Because you know? Oh, wow. Oh, I do. I wonder if maybe it's me, but I just hear me very clear, but maybe that's okay. Maybe I just hear my voice. It's just in my ear. Maybe it's just the way it's supposed to be. Oh, I'm good with that. Okay, we'll just move on. Okay, here we go. This is new change. When nothing's perfect, you guys. So we know things just happen, and that's the way it goes. So we're just learning the ropes, and I'm all right with that too. So, okay, Kristin, you know what? Here's the thing. Now I know that you deal with families, and what do you say? Okay. All right. I don't know. My mic is unmuted. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I think he's trying some things. So you deal with different change. And when you deal with families, that transition, is it times that, and I know this is kind of hard, and I really do want to ask this question because right now the summer is happening and we have a lot of teenagers, a lot of young people are getting in trouble. And they're doing things. And I don't know if it's the heat, but somebody's going to juvenile detention and all that. And how do you deal with that change right there?
Well, it's interesting you bring up the season and the temperature and the weather because believe it or not, there have been studies in the past that show patterns with things like that. Is part of it that there's more accessibility because people are out more, so potentially more crimes can happen. They're not in school, depending on which calendars that they have. So there's more availability and accessibility, and probably in some respects less supervision happening, and so more opportunity. So yes, change in that respect can absolutely contribute to juveniles getting into some things that they shouldn't do. We all have those stories, of what happened, whatever, on one summer. So I think it's more to do with opportunity that's there, and a little less structure happens when you're not in school and you're just out for the summer. There tends to be you don't have the same frequency of things going on and less expectation in some regards. Some kids are home without the type of supervision they need. Some are left to their own devices, go out there and do things, and that they do things they shouldn't do. So absolutely, we see a rise in things depending on season, and summer is one of those. Nice weather is one of those. Oddly, so is a full moon. We do see an increase of crime. I can't tell you all the science of that, but it's just a pattern that definitely some studies have seen.
Yeah, it's very sad that we are seeing that. And I don't know if it's like it's always every summer we see that. Every summer. It just seems that we have these problems. And when that school is out, you have a gathering of all the children and they get into mischief. And some parents don't understand that, okay, well, you shouldn't allow your child to be out that late. I mean, how can you tell a parent, no, that child needs to be in before 12 o'clock? I mean, that we have something to do with why these things are happening too. We're not putting limits on curfews.
Yeah, there's accountability with parenting. So back when I was a kid, they actually had commercials that said it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Because pretty much in my day, they just kind of put you outside and you came back in when it was dark. But it's a different world today. And, we don't even have regular stations with regular commercials that people regularly watch that would even have that on there. But parents absolutely need to take some accountability and put that power within their own hands and monitor their kids. I mean, a lot of children have devices, and on those devices that needs to be monitored. You can have tracking, know where your kids are, make them communicate with you. You have accessibility to your children. But in some regard, some parents use that as the babysitter, so to say. Well, I can figure out where the kid is if they text me or it's on this location. But it's not just about that. They need to have actual communication, talking with their children, the expectations, when, where, what, those kinds of things, and keeping communication, not just assume, well, they got a phone can call if they need me. Because it's a different world, different risks, different exposures than, when we were children, for sure. So
Yeah.
I would encourage parents to do more. And then when we're talking about families that have shared custody, the summer is a big shift. It's a big transition.
Yes, it is.
Yes, because a lot of times, for example, if you have parents that one lives a far distance in Indiana, it typically can mean that one child will go away for several weeks at a time without seeing the other parents. We don't all want that, but if distance is a factor, that absolutely could be the case. And that's a big transition for a child to go from their routine of school and whatever the routine is with the one parent, and then suddenly going on to what is a summer, but now a completely different pattern and expectation with a different parent. If those interests between the parents are misaligned, it can be confusing, more so than just a regular transition for a child as to what are the rules, what do I do? A lot of things come into that, and that's with families with the split kind of custody, and then families that are close and share custody. That's different too. A child used to one pattern of going back and forth between parents because it may be one way during the school year, and then suddenly it changes during the summer. And I think it's hard on parents, but I sometimes think that the parents forget how hard that is on the children, and they don't always show it. They have one expression on their face. You don't realize how much it impacts them until something happens.
Exactly.
Maybe they express that in a way of acting out or some other means. And sometimes that has to do with the adjustment, trying to have an adjustment to that transition. And they weren't shown how to do that in a healthy way because the parents are having trouble adjusting.
That's right. You know what? You mentioned a good point. And you know what? We're going to come back to those points. We are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Do not go nowhere, folks. We are still with the amazing attorney, Kristin.
Tell me about the podcast. Why you
I heard.
Do that.
Well, one thing about that is many people do not understand the identification of oneself. And I thought that was very important. I know that there's many people out there that are like lawyers, doctors, judges, celebrities, whatever the case may be, but they are a human being. And I always want to know, who do you identify yourself as? And I think that's so important.
But it's about life. It's about things that happen. And I'm a person, a human being. We share that in common. I'm not perfect, and I don't act like I am. I have to explain my challenges and my testimonies and things that I went through or I go through. Every day is a challenge. I have to stress that because today you get up and you're like, oh, wow, this is great. But there is days it's not so great. And you know what? That is life. Sometimes it's a pause in your daily task or things that you want to complete that day, and you just get hit with a curveball and you got to figure out what you're going to do. And that's what life is all about.
Our movie can be found on Amazon Prime. We have some of the actors and cast. We got Lance Lacconi, the promoter, executive producer. These are also her daughters, her sister, her family. We're all here. We're all big family.
We are family. Wow.
Production manager, actress, all in the movie, 3/4 Inception. Hello, promoter, Lance Lacconi. Say hello. Hello.
He's the Godfather, right?
I know, the Godfather. Yes, he is.
Well, congratulations and enjoy.
The Dr. Meleeka Clary Show is on Bold and Brave TV network. That's a global broadcaster show everywhere. Now, what it is about the identification of oneself. And I ask that question because not many people identify who they are. You could do a lot of things in this world, but you don't know who you are. And it's not about you being a doctor. It's not about you being an actress or a celebrity or a server. It's about you being a person first. You have challenges in your life. And what do you go through? And what's your belief mechanism? What gets you up out of that bed? What makes you think? What makes you love yourself? Because some people, they don't. We're going to get to it.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. How you doing? Welcome back, Kristin.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Okay. You don't hear the double. I don't hear the double. I mean, well, you didn't hear it. I think I heard it more so. See, Still getting good. We just trying things out. Yeah, I don't hear it no more. Okay, I don't know whatever happened, but I pressed something, I did something. So that's the way it goes, you people. All right, we are back. Okay, when we talked about the families and transitioning, like I said, in the summer, like you were saying before we went on break, how that transition for people, because you got people who go away from the summer and, they out doing whatever they want to do too. And some people you have like, the kids are thinking, I could do what I want to do because I'm on summer break. I see that. I mean, I know in Indiana, I've seen a bunch of kids out, but lately, and this is something that really disturbs me, lately I've been hearing shootings in downtown. And soon these kids get out of school, we're hearing the shootings. Now I know it's been there, but now we're hearing that. What is your intake about what you're hearing? And how can we as people, and I know I got to talk to your parents because there's still things that you can do. Like we know the heat is going, we know the kids are going out, and some people think, hey, let the kids go out. I know they're on break. It's great, but there's other things we got to do, people, because crime is increasing. So do you have some ideas of some things that we can also do? I think you were mentioning something before that break, because this is really disturbing to know that 3 people got shot the other day. And I don't think, so.
Yeah, I saw that in the news as well, and it saddened my heart. Over in an area that's a really popular area where a lot of people hang out, actually a beautiful area of the city, the Arts Garden over by Circle Center, and to hear that some people were actually shot and killed. But you do hear more violence all across America, and when I hear more of it in our own city, it's definitely heartbreaking. And then when we're talking about children, and of course we don't know the full details of all that other than what we saw in the media, which presumably what we read in the media, that there were a lot of kids around with that, and why they were there. That part we don't know 100%, but certainly underage youth hanging out in large groups, it can lead to some problems for sure, no matter what the circumstances are. But if you have children that are your responsibility and you want to give them something to do in the summer, there are a lot of organizations all across any city, and some of those are nationwide. The YMCA and any city, town, county that they have programs to reach out to children all summer, and they have programs if you can't afford to go to other kinds of camps, and it's something to give your child an area where they can feel that they are not only being attended to, but they can be proud because they're involved with something and they have a goal. Or sports teams as well. That's another thing. If you personally, have to work and can't be involved, just thinking, do you have any other family members? Can you team up with other people in your community? Maybe there are other parents that are home at different hours that you are, and you trust them, and the kids can be together in a safe environment. And then in situations where you do allow your children out in the world, so to say, giving them the parameters, the rules, the expectations. But again, we are talking about parents that have the opportunity to be involved. Some parents, through choices and other things, maybe circumstances even out of their control, don't have that same opportunity, whether they're suffering mental health, which can lead to a lot of things such as drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and they just aren't there in the same mental capacity as the kind of parents I'm talking to right now. And those kids are kind of left out in the wind. But the truth is, there are mentors and outreach programs in every community for those children too. They're through churches, through community programs, and people are always, trying to look for those kids because we want those kids in those programs, and not for the other kind of predators that are looking for those children to come join in criminal activity or some other means. And the kids are looking for connection. They want connection. So let's give them the outlet for that connection. Let's connect them up with what's there so that they can begin to thrive and not feel that their only source of connection is something that's going to get them in trouble or hurt.
Exactly. And, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that's what we need to do. We're going to focus. When I think about what we can do as parents, sometimes people think, "Oh, we can't do much. They're going to do whatever." I get it. You got these age groups, from 13 to 18. I want to say, you feel like you're being, pushed to your limits. And I will say that they are challenging ages, because if you say don't, they're going to do, they'll find a way. But I think don't give up. Try, like you said, there's outreach programs, there's churches, there's, mentors, there's other people that you might can, involve them. I think, is it the YMCA? Is that like a free situation there? I don't know.
They do have, I can't speak to every YMCA, but I do know the ones around us have programs you pay for, and then they have programs for that are if you don't have the funds. But there's also, you were getting ready, I think I say like, were you going to say Big Sisters? Or
yeah, that too.
Yeah, there are so many out there that are just waiting to help children become involved. There are also programs that have different names depending where you're at that do exist, and you can learn about those through churches, through schools, through any other sort of community outreach program, to find out. And just, you can Google, honestly,
exactly.
Google community outreach program.
True.
Yes, just make sure it's when I say legitimate one, I mean one that we recognize YMCA, we recognize other names like that.
Is it Boys and Girls
clubs, things like that. Just be careful that you're going to one that is people trust, and that you feel comfortable to trust that. Because you have to remember that when we're talking about a vulnerable population, kids, and then kids that may not be attended to fully in the way that they should. So that's a vulnerable population, and people prey on that. So people that could be preying on that may be forming their own organizations and say, "Hey, come over here, we'll take care of you." So you still have to be vigilant as a parent to determine what could be a potentially safe program. And even within those programs, you need to give your children guidance and to navigate. But what you don't want is to either send them out to the community because the communities are different than they used to be. Dangers are different. Dangers are extensive. Or if you're a parent where they have a device, you don't want them sitting at home all day either on a device, because that is in some ways can be even more dangerous than what happens in your living room. Could potentially be more dangerous than just when you send them out into the city or the neighborhood, because they can be exposed to millions of people. And now you're talking about predators that could be looking for prey across the world, across the globe, and they're looking specifically for that target population. So you have to be vigilant with everything that you do as a parent. It's a different world, different time, and people need to adapt to that.
That's right. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that's important. People should know what to do. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because, it's the first thing when we talk about change and we talk about helping people, we start talking about finances. And somebody who's listening might say, well, that gotta cost money. What am I going to, I know what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep our young ones safe, but it's a cost, right? But we also mentioned programs in other places that may not have no cost. So you could check that out. And like Kristin said, you can go Google too. The thing about it, people, if you do nothing, nothing comes out. If you do something, something comes out. That's the whole big key. Trying to do something than nothing. And that is, believe it or not, I think that's parents' responsibility to try to do something. You're hearing this, but somebody else's child got killed. And I don't want to hear somebody else's child, and that, could be your kid. You don't want that. But we could do something. We don't know what the future holds, but I think if we could do something, we want our kids to have fun in the summer, but that's not fun for somebody who just heard their child died or a crossfire or something, because whatever time it was, they were out, supposed to have fun. And these times, when I hear it, it's like after 12 o'clock. This is like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what I'm hearing. Now, don't quote me on it, but that's what I'm hearing. And if that's the case, why is your kid out at that time? That's all I got to say on that. And on that note, we are going to take a brief commercial, and we will be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show and with the amazing attorney, Kristin. Do not go nowhere. We'll be right back, folks.
Actress, producer, writer, you've done so much leading you to and 3 Corners of Deception. This is an important role for you. What's that about?
The movie is about, well, judicial deception, but it's also a romance. It's girl meet boy, boy meet girl, or whatever the case may be. But, on a Memorial weekend, it was a wonderful moment. But unfortunately, things end differently. It's not that you know that person when you first meet a person. It's unfortunately that happens. But the movie was more than just that. Nothing that I would even think to think about.
Now, I always tell people communication is so important. If you are feeling a certain way, what's the best way? Accept it and talk about it. How do you feel about this situation? Talk about it. That's the best advice, is talk about how you're feeling about the situation. Whatever is bothering you, whatever's you're carrying that weight, talk about it. Because if you release it, you'll feel much better. You might think that, you're going to be judged. If you feel that someone else is in your family is keep on letting you know all the problems that have happened and they won't let it go, let them know so then you can let it go. Explain how you feel, that I'm letting that go. There was nothing I could have done. And if I did do something, well, mistakes happen. We all make mistakes, and that's what happened.
So what can you tell us about your upcoming film, 3 Corners of Deception?
Well, 3 Corners of Deception has been out publicly last year.
Okay. So
And
it's been out now.
actually, yes, it's been out last year, but it actually been on the film festival circuit globally for about maybe 2 years.
Wow.
86 recognitions all over the world. Wow. So it's on the IMDb 8.0, something like that rating.
Yes,
so
it's high.
Yeah, exactly.
People like it.
The movie, it's about judicial deception, but it started with a romance and girl meet boy, but it didn't end like that. The motivation behind that was more basically judicial deception and trying to give awareness to people that, look, this is things that's happening and it shouldn't happen.
Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. We are still with the amazing attorney Kristin. See, we're just getting used to all this, bring you right back. We're going to get it together. But I like it. I love it. I just like the whole outlook. It is clear too. I don't know. I think that the internet does work well on this platform as well. So I kind of like that. Makes us look great.
Oh, well, then I like that. I think it's clear, but I wouldn't know unless I put on my...
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. I got me, I've been having me some, yeah. Okay, let's put them away. I got a couple of those. I'm born, when I came out the womb, they said his glasses. And then 20, 30 years old, they said LASIK. But then 10 more years later, they said his glasses again. That's oh my goodness. It's like you get the correction and then you still got to wear it for reading. Because I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get out of glasses. Y'all see me. I think I did a segment with my glasses because I said, you know what? It's going to be like that. Eventually, I'm going to get used to have to wear the glasses again. And I'm like, it is what it is. I guess when you're younger, you're like, whatever. But when you're older, you're like, you know what? I need these jokers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cute, but sometimes it's like you feel like, oh, why did I got one? But now I'm like, I really need them. Cute is cute, but no sight ain't great. So we're good.
Exactly.
Kristin,
real quick.
Ain't that the truth? I'm telling you, it is the truth, my dear. You know what? we always run out of time. Of course, we have this new platform. We've been dealing with that, and this is great. But you've always gave nothing but great advice and stuff like that. And I know you'll be on the show again. But I really, really appreciate your insights and your input about, the teens and what you offer to the parents, because I think that if we don't mention something, then, nothing gets done. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know you do too. We can't tell you how to run your household. Okay. But I can advise you and give you some type of input that I don't watch the news. People are telling me this. I'm telling, for one, let me say that to you. And then I get on there and I see other stuff and I'm like, on my phone, and I'm like, wow. But I am very serious when I say this. The times that something is happening is after 12 o'clock midnight. If you know that is happening, bring your kids home. Go get them. Try to do something. Don't let them out to stay after certain times, because I don't know what other kids are doing. I don't know why at 2:30, 3 o'clock a.m. your kid is out. I have no idea if they out there because they have permission, or you think they're in the room and they're not. Start checking. Because I mean, that's the kind of era I came from. I ain't gonna lie. Mom go to sleep. There's a tree. But hey, but I was around don't tell my mom. Make sure she but I'm serious though, because I knew the tricks, but I was around the area. This is downtown, and I don't know in your state, but that's not right next door. And if you are next door to downtown, well, then you may want to, set some boundaries of time, for your child to be in the house and to be around the house. I mean, 3 o'clock. I mean, I'm asleep. I mean, I guess that's over. And come on. And that's when some things are happening. That's a popular time. When you agree, that's a popular time. Things are happening. You always hear after that time.
Well, what every grandma say, nothing good happens after midnight and late at night. It's true. There's no reason. And most communities have built-in curfews that people may or may not even realize. And parents should be having curfews with children as well, and these expectations, because really there's no need. What are they doing? What are they doing out at that night?
Hanging out and just sitting there. That's it. Hanging out outside looking. That's what I see. Because, after a game or something, you see things. And you see all them hanging out. And that's what they're doing for another couple hours, hanging out. I'm good with the hanging out at that time. Let's hang in. Go hang in the house.
Right. Go hang out somewhere safe where there's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because you just don't know. Like I said, you don't know what other kids are doing and what other kids are thinking. And so let's.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say that can get people in a lot of trouble. I've certainly represented a lot of individuals where they weren't the main culprit for doing whatever happened. And I'm talking about things from theft all the way to murder. And maybe someone just happened to be there. They're going to be charged with the same crime. And do you want your child to be part of that? Because they were hung out with a certain group and wrong place, wrong time, but they were part of that. So you can be held responsible in some things to a certain extent by being there. So and not all children think of that, so that's the parents' job to make sure that they're, to the extent that they can, that their kids aren't exposed to that.
You know what? You're right. It breaks my heart when I hear about that. Just one person. I know, we have a lot of people in this world, but it breaks my heart just to hear somebody die, period. I'm not one of those people, oh, okay. No, it's like, as a psychologist, how? What happened? Why? And I know in the law field, how? Yeah, people. So, I am just bringing it because we have the summer still a month or so available still, in a month and a half, or and we got to do better, people. So let's try to do better, better for ourselves, better for the community, and better for our children. It was always a pleasure, Kristin, to have you on. And Google, you can Google attorney Kristin. Hey, she's available. She's a practicing lawyer, y'all. You need it. Yeah, I send people her way. They love her. Mm-hmm. They love her. She get number goodness. So, but she's also on this show, and like I said, we'll be doing new things and changes. So eventually, you'll be able to ask some questions, and we'll try to hit on some of those topics. So we're here. And with that being said, we are going to go for now. And but you can Google me, and you know my social medias, but I say Google because you can find me on YouTube, Lincoln, and Dr. Meleeka Clary show. Or the drmeleekaclary.com, my website, and everything like that. So looking for me, I'm easy. I'm not hiding, but I will say this to you. If nobody say I love you, I love you. I care about you and your mind, and I just want to help you be the best version of you. So with that being said, I want you to have a wonderful rest of the day and a wonderful weekend to come. And may God bless you all, and take care. And thank you again for tuning in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary show, powered by Sweet Recordings. God bless you all. Take care.